Hey everybody, it's Stephanie with 210 God's Masterpiece, and it's been quite a while since I posted my first video on how I put together my prayer journal. And at the time, I was homeschooling my son and had just started a new job, so my schedule was really full and I just did not have time to film any more videos or do really any more crafting stuff that is really where I want to be and what I want to be doing. So now Mason is going to be attending private school this fall. So between my morning and afternoon work shifts, I will have quite a few hours to be able to focus more on my YouTube channel and making fun videos and my social media pages like Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, although I do favor Facebook for the most part. And then I also have an Etsy shop. So I want to show you what we're going to be doing, and my book just fell over here. This is the cute little project that we are going to be working on, and this is an altered board book, and it is called A Book of Affirmations. And when I decided I wanted to make something, I knew I wanted it to be Christ-centered. I knew I wanted it to be able to be something that I could share with other people, that I could teach other people how to do, and use it to bless other people and not keep it for yourself, but mail it off, do the happy mail thing. And this book is 4 by 4 inches, and I picked up, I can't remember if they were in a pack of 6 or 4, but it was something like that, and I picked them up at my local Dollar Tree, and obviously for the pack that I got, they were $1. And this right here, this is what they look like when you buy them. Just a simple little children's board book with a story inside, and it has, I call this one page, so when you open it, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 pages with your obviously front and back cover. And let me go ahead and I'm going to flip through this here real quick and share with you what I have in it and what's inside so you can look at it. But I'm going to have, I think it's going to be a series of 3 videos to show you how to do everything in here, how I put everything together, all the supplies and tools you're going to need. And I'll get into that later, but let me show you this first. So again, like I said, I wanted it to be Christ-centered, biblically based with using a lot of scripture. And there are things in here that are not scripture, but they are Christ-centered. And they are some nice quotes and things to encourage you and give you life-affirming words. So on the front cover here, it says, I have loved you with an everlasting love. And I've recently got into making these cute paperclip bookmarks for your planner, your Bible, your journal, whatever you want to use them for. Books, if you like to read, you can use it as just a regular bookmark. And this came from a group that I'm on Facebook called Paperclip Art. And the lady who runs it, her name, her Facebook name is Palooza. And it is a wonderful, wonderful group, and she's inspired me so much, and she's given me a lot of great tips and advice. And she also has a YouTube channel. I'm not sure if it's under Palooza, but I have to give a shout out to her. Hi, Lolly, because she's amazing, and her group is amazing. So if you can, go and check that out, Paperclip Art on Facebook. So that's one of the clips that I've done, and it's just like a little cardboard banner, butterfly, and I'm going to open the book up, and what I've done is basically a 2-page spread, and on one side you just have a Bible quote and some cute decorations on the pages, which I'm going to show you how to do, and I put in a little clear pocket here, and inside your pocket is 2 little sheets. One is just a plain piece of vellum that I printed on and decorated the edge of the paper with some ink. And this is actually a altered playing card that I painted and did. I add some brads, inked it up, and have a Bible verse on this as well. So those can slide in and out of there. You can use these as bookmarks, put them in your wallet, your purse, carrying them with you. But basically this is to speak words of life into you and give you encouragement when you receive this in the mail. And so basically that's the same thing as every page. They're all set up the same with the pocket. This is another one of the clips that I was inspired to do. This is a little mini clip, clothesline pin, I think is what they're called. And just some cute little sequins that I got that I put on there. I painted the clip. So again, I'm going to show you how to do all of the stuff that's in here, the 2 cards in your pocket. And this page, I added some sequins. This one has some cute little rhinestones. And again, the same thing through each of the pages. This is another clip that I made with just a cute little flower, paper flower. And I think this is my favorite thing that I've put in the book. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's a little tiny, tiny little shaker pack. And so there's little itty bitty glitters in there. I will have to find the information on where I got this at, because right now off the top of my head I can't think of it, but I'll have that included in the video when I show you how to make this. But this is tiny. It's 1 inch by 1 inch. I sewed around the edges, and there's a little sheet of paper in there that says "Loved by the King," and I just love this. I just think it is so cute, and I just love it. Okay, so this is the book, and I don't have them in here right now, but also I'm going to include in the book some cute little embellishments. In this book, I would probably put in some rhinestones, some sequins, maybe some of the sequins that are big like this, maybe some sheets of vellum, you know, paper clips, stuff like that. Kind of using that, I guess, along the lines of like the pocket letters that everybody's doing right now that are so big. So lots of goodies, maybe even include a nice little letter in one of the pockets to the person that gets this, that receives this in the mail. And that is the book, and this is what we're going to be making. Like I said, probably over the next series of 3 videos, I'm guessing, is probably what it's going to take to do. Maybe 4, but I'm not real sure. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show you the supplies you're going to need for this video only. At the beginning of each video that I do in the series, I will give you the supplies that you're going to need and exactly what we're going to be doing through that video. So I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to move this just so that I don't get it messed up. Okay, so obviously you need a board book. Like I said, this is 4x4. I bought this at Dollar Tree. If you do not have a Dollar Tree, Target, Walmart, probably like a toy store, Toys R Us, used, where you can go and buy used clothing and toys and stuff like that, Goodwill. These little books are everywhere, and it doesn't have to be the size. It can be bigger. I know they make bigger ones. I just thought this was a good size because it's easily slipped into a small padded envelope. And I can't imagine that this would cost more than $2 or $3 to mail within the United States. So you're going to need some of these. And you're also going to need white gesso. Now, white gesso is going to be used to cover the entire book. And this is Blick brand, which comes from Dick Blick Art Supplies. And I am lucky enough to have one very close to me that I can get to and get all kinds of great and wonderful art supplies. So Dick Blick, if you are an artist and don't know about them, if you don't have one, you can order supplies online. Their prices are amazing. They have amazing sales, and I can't speak highly enough of Dick Blick Art Supplies. So I will have the link for that also, but it's white gesso. You do not have to have Dick Blick. Liquitex makes it. Golden makes it. I'm sure there's off brands. It does not matter. You just need some white gesso. And this is a huge, huge container because I go through it like crazy, but a small container works just fine. So white gesso. Okay, you are also going to need some fine grit sandpaper. I don't buy sandpaper. I steal it from my husband because he's in construction and we always have sandpaper around. But Walmart, I'm sure, I don't know that Target would have it, but Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, we have Buck Heights here in St. Louis, and what other stores. There's another one. I can't think of the name of it. A big, like Hoods, and there's another one. So get yourself some fine grit sandpaper. Don't get anything too heavy because it's going to eat through the cardboard on here, and that's not what you want. You are also going to need some paintbrushes, and cheap ones. And when I say cheap, these are really, really cheap. I usually buy at Walmart or Hobby Lobby, and I buy them in a pack and usually get, it depends on your pack, you can get anywhere from probably 5 to 15 brushes in a pack. And the pack that these came in, I think I didn't pay any more than $5. It was probably less than that, and it was probably a pack of 10 or so paintbrushes because I have a ton of paintbrushes. So cheap paintbrushes because you don't want to ruin them using gesso, and you want just cheap ones. You save your good ones for your painting and watercolors and all that. So cheap paintbrushes. I have 2 here. You probably really only need 1, but it's a lot more economical to buy them in a pack. And you are going to need a cup of water. And as you can see here, I'm kind of a little weird, crazy, I guess. I don't know. I buy wine glasses at Dollar Tree, and they're $1. And I just think they're a ton of fun to use to clean out my paintbrushes, to have my water, and it just adds a little bit of a fun element, and it's kind of quirky like me, and I just really like using these. They're just fun. So a cup of water you're going to need to rinse out your paintbrushes. You're also going to need either a heat tool or a hair dryer. Either one will do. I recommend using them because when you paint and put your paints, your gesso, and some of the other stuff that we're going to do in your book, it is going to take a long time for your medium to dry. When you have a heat gun or a hair dryer, you can dry your book and your paints really fast instead of having to wait for each page to dry and go back, wait for the next page to dry, and so on. So I got this at Michael's. I don't know how much I paid for it. I believe most of them run between $20 and $25, but I recommend this to everybody. I don't ever pay full price for anything if I don't have to. Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's all have really super great coupons. Michael's and Hobby Lobby have your 40% off coupon every day. Joann's, I think, does also, but I do not shop with them very often because they're just not as close to me as the other 2, and I just prefer the other 2 better, and mostly Hobby Lobby. So get yourself one of these and use your coupon or get it when it's on sale. And I think that is all we're going to need for this. So our first step is going to be using our sandpaper. And what you want to do is you're going to take your book and we are going to sand every page and the binder. What is this called? A bind? Oh my gosh, I'm like, can't even speak or think right now. The edge of your book, let's just say that. The edge of your book, the front, the back. And you don't want to completely sand the image off and get down to the cardboard. You just want a light sand. And that is probably all I will do. Because what it's going to do is it's going to help your gesso and your other mediums sink into the page. If you do not do this, what happens is the medium will sit on top of the book on this glossy coating that they put on these. And what happens is when you use your heat gun or you get it wet with water or inks or whatever, it turns into like a rubber and it starts peeling off the outside of the book. So you want to sand it to get a lot of that gloss and give a little bit of tooth so that medium that you put on here grabs on. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sand down all my pages, and I'm not going to bore you with me sanding everything down, and I will come back and we'll move on to the next step as soon as I get this done. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I am back and I have my whole book sanded. And I didn't time it, but I don't think that even took me 5 minutes to do. I have a paper towel here, and I'm just going to go and wipe off these pages really quick. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is really gross and dirty because it took off all that coating and some of the color underneath for the pages. So I'm just going to wipe that off real quick to get the dust. I'm going to straighten this back up. Okay. So I don't know if you can see how dirty that is or was. And I'll throw that away. And I forgot to mention, when you sand, I do a pattern. So I'll do up and down, side to side, and then I take from one corner down, and then I'll flip it from the other corner down. So you get different lines of sanding in there, and it makes it a bit more even instead of rough. And so you can see here, this is what it looks like when it's sanded. There's a little bit of that glossy coat on there, but not a lot. And you just want to be able to get some of that off so that, like I said, your medium is going to stick. So after that, now we need to get our white gesso. And what we're going to do is get our paintbrush here, and you do not need to get it wet, but we're going to get our paintbrush. And don't like glop it on there. You just need a little bit, and you're going to just slap it on there. This is not anything that we need to worry about looking pretty. We just need to get it on the book and get the book covered up. And in all honesty, gesso really does dry pretty fast, especially if you put it on in thin layers. And I like to do 2 coats. So this is what you're going to do. And I'm going to dry this real quick so you can see. Okay, so that is completely dry, and that didn't even take 30 seconds to do that with my heat tool. So I'm hoping that you can see this. I put 2 coats on because I don't want to see the design, the colors that are underneath there. You can only do 1 coat and leave that under, because our next step is going to be collaging and covering this up. So this would be just another element if you wanted to do that, just to do 1 coat and give it a little bit more texture, some more layers. But like I said, I don't do that. I do 2 coats to basically cover up as much as I can. Usually with 2 coats, it's not even completely covered, but it's covered enough to satisfy what I like. So it's completely up to you what you want to do with that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off and get this gessoed and come back and show you what it looks like. So I will be back in just a minute. Okay, everybody, I am back, and I have finished putting the gesso on my entire book. And clean water, brush, and swish it around in there. And I wipe off the sides of it a couple times just to make sure that I get it good. I don't recommend doing this, but I'm horrible, horrible, horrible. And that's why I say use cheap paintbrushes, because there you go. And I'm just going to leave that sit until I'm done with this video. And a lot of times that's what I will do anyway, because when I'm working on something, I just want to go and I want to get the ideas out. And I don't want to mess with cleaning my paintbrushes and wiping everything off. And I also recommend having more than 1 cup of water, because it can get dirty really fast, and you don't want to be using dirty, muddy water on your clean pages and your pretty paper that we're going to be using. Close up your gesso, which mine never closes right. And it's okay. All right, so here is your book completely covered in gesso. And I don't know if you guys can see this. You can barely see what was underneath there at all. And I did leave one page, so you can see the side I covered twice and the side I only covered once. So I'm just going to leave that one page so that when we collage it and we do our stuff, you'll probably be able to see a little bit of it. I don't even know if you'll be able to see any of it, but I can be a little bit, I don't know, a bit of a perfectionist, I guess, and I just want it to be how I want it. This is your project. This is your book. You do it how you want to do it. You find what works for you and what you like best. That's what art is all about. I can show you what I did and share with you my process, but this is for you, and this is to bring you joy and happiness. This is a way that I connect with God. This is a way that God speaks to me a lot. This is a way I get a lot of my frustrations and stresses out, and I use art a lot to share with other people how I'm dealing with things, how God is dealing with me with certain things. And so I just use art a lot. This is what God has given me. So all I can do is share it with you because that's where I get my joy. And you do what's best for you and what's going to make you happy and what's going to make you connect more with God, because that's my purpose, is to teach other people how to connect with God through art. And yeah, so that is all we're going to do for today. I'm going to end the video, but please, 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 if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, make a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Here's some feedback. Go and follow me on Facebook. 210 God's Masterpiece is my Facebook page. And I have the Book of Affirmations swap page on Facebook that I have set up. So please go and check them out and just join my groups, support my YouTube channel if you enjoyed it, and look for the second video in the series. And in that second video, what we're going to be doing is collaging our pages, and we're going to do some stamping. We're going to use some acrylic paints and maybe even some inks, because I found that I have loved using ink. It's just wonderful and beautiful. And so that is what we're going to do in our next video. So get your sandpaper, your gesso, your paintbrushes, and sand and gesso away. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and please come and follow me on Facebook. Thanks. I'll see you next time.